If you're planning a thru hike or even a multi-day backpacking trip, this video is for you. My name's Ryan with Darn Tough, and today we're going to talk about all the gear that you need for a successful trip on the trail. Let's get into it. First and foremost is your big three. That's your backpack, your sleeping bag, and your tent. My sleeping bag is a 25-degree REI flash sleeping bag, which I've used for years. My backpack that I'm using for this trip is going to be a Gossamer Gear 36-liter Kumo bag. It's a frameless ultralight bag with my Z-Rest pad that's cut down to length to fit my bag. And then my shelter. You can use a hammock, a tarp. I'm using a tent. It's an ultralight two-person tent from REI with my tent poles and my 6 tent stakes. Moving on to some essential items. First is going to be navigation. I'm using a digital app on my phone. A PDF version of the map works well too, but using a digital app on my phone for navigation. And then I also have an external battery bank and a charger to keep my devices charged throughout the trip. We have a headlamp and some extra batteries with some duct tape. Sun protection is going to be a hat, some sunglasses. I have SPF 50 sunscreen and some lip balm. Moving into personal hygiene and your first aid kit. For first aid, I like to keep it simple and kind of build my own depending on my needs instead of buying a pre-made kit. So I have some ibuprofen, some over-the-counter meds, a nail clipper, some safety pins, a multi-tool, and a lighter with some duct tape on there. For personal hygiene, we have toothbrush, toothpaste, some floss. Floss also doubles really well as some thread if you're looking to make a small repair on the trail. Floss is super durable. Some wet wipes, Dr. Bronner's soap for cleaning your kitchen stuff or washing your hands. It even works well for doing laundry in a stream, whatever the case may be. Dr. Bronner's is a go-to. For water, we have 2 1-liter bottles, plastic water bottles for water with an additional half-liter soft flask for longer water carries. So it's a good rule to have at least 2 to 3 liters of capacity when you're hiking, especially depending on where you're going. If you're going to be in the desert, if it's drier, do your research beforehand. And then your water treatment, I have Aquamira chemical drops, which is a 2-part treatment. It works best for me. You can use a Sawyer squeeze, which a lot of people use, Katahdin stream filters, life straws. There's a multitude of options, but I like the Aquamira. For our camp kitchen, we have our Pocket Rocket stove, our fuel, our pot with our homemade koozie for the pot, our food bag, which will hang at the end of the night once we're done eating and away from camp. For that, we'll need our carabiner and our 50 feet of nylon cord. Our spork, I have an extra small lighter in there, and then also a cup for coffee, tea, oatmeal, whatever the case is. Onto clothing, we have the clothes I'm going to wear all day while I'm hiking. That will never change. So it's going to be my long sleeve moisture wicking shirt, some basic running shorts, and a pair of Darn Tough merino wool socks. That's my kit for during the day. After I'm done hiking at camp, we have clothes that are dry, that stay in a dry bag for most of the day. So in that will be your leggings, extra pair of socks, an extra pair of underwear, a shirt, anything else you might think you need for keeping yourself dry at night. And then we also have a rain jacket and a lightweight fleece for when it gets cold. Check the weather. If you're going out for a few days, you can kind of dial in your kit that way, but if you're going for a thru hike and a longer effort, you will need to be prepared and just kind of have these things at the ready. Rounding out the clothing is your footwear. So I have a pair of trail runners that I use. I like it because they're lightweight and they're a little nimbler and more agile than your traditional hiking boot. However, it's personal preference. If you want a boot, that's totally fine too. Use what works for you. In those shoes, I have my Superfeet insoles, which do well for long periods of time on your feet. So I recommend using those. Some additional items here. We have an inflatable camp pillow, a journal, weatherproof journal with a pen. I have a Rubik's Cube here, a gear patch, an extra little a little small container for soap or shampoo or olive oil if you're cooking. It's always nice to have a little container like that. And then our poop kit, our bathroom kit. The most important kit of anything on this table is your deuce of spades, your trowel to dig a hole, and then you have some toilet paper in a Ziploc bag with some Body Glide and some hand sanitizer. So that's your bathroom kit. And that's pretty much it. Everything you see here, you may or may not include in your pack, but generally there's your big three, your essentials, your clothing, your bathroom kit, your camp kitchen. You mix and match what works for you, but this is what I use, and I think it'll treat you guys well. So yeah, happy hiking, and stay safe out there.